Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Let's Vibe Podcast, a podcast hosted by me, Vibe with Aid. In today's episode, we are getting into content creating with the queen of content creation, Emma Kapotes. I am joined by my lovely friend to do a Q&A with you guys to kick off 2021. If you are interested in content creating or influencing, this is definitely one to listen to, so stay tuned. If you're ready to join me, let's go on and vibe into today's episode. Hello, you guys. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. We are back a day later than usual. I had some weird sickness, head cold spell coming on, and then later today on Tuesday it kind of started to feel better and I started to feel more normal. So I was like, okay, I want to get this episode up and out. This is also what happens when you don't plan. If I had just recorded this when I recorded with Emma, or I had done this on the weekend, we wouldn't be here. So it's 2021. I'm trying to be better about routines, content batching, all things like that. We all are just doing what we can to get in the flow of this year. But I'm so excited to be joined by my friend Emma Kapotes today. You guys will get to hear a lot more about what's going on with her. She is launching her first course, which will be up next week. And so I thought it would be really great to just sit down and share some knowledge from both of us about content creating and influencing and what we've learned the past couple of years. So it's really going to be a great episode. But before we get into it, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on the podcast and everything like that, wherever you listen from. Tag me on Instagram, tag the podcast on Instagram at Let's Vibe Podcast. I really do appreciate your guys' feedback and seeing when you guys listen to it and everything like that. Which leads me into Listener of the Week. So for Listener of the Week, it is typically someone that either writes a review or someone that tags me on their Instagram stories. And it's typically people that I notice are doing it repeatedly or are just always giving the podcast some love. So for this week, we actually have a review. It is from Miss Carla May, who, if you guys know my butterfly kimono that I have a couple photos with it. She did that. She is at Sunny Kate Designs on Instagram, but I know her name, Carla May. And so she wrote a review in, and it says, chock full of mindfulness. Came for the festival vibe, stayed for the self-reflection exercise. I especially love the deep breathing in the beginning. Sometimes you just need a reminder to breathe. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So thank you, Carla, for tuning into the podcast. I appreciate your support so much. And thank you for writing a review. I'm definitely sending some good vibes your way. So I hope you have a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week, whenever you may be listening this to. So thank you for supporting me and for vibing with me, of course. Which leads me to the vibe check, you guys. She mentioned she loves the self-reflection exercises. She loves the deep breathing in the beginning. So I think that calls for a little vibe check. If you are new to my podcast, I do a vibe check at every episode, the full episodes, which is every other week. And basically, I will take you through a breathing exercise, and then we will talk about certain questions going on and kind of check in with ourselves. I think it's super important to always be checking in with yourself because, there's a lot of crazy things going on, and sometimes we just need to take a moment and see, okay, how are we feeling? How can we come from this? What are we feeling? What needs to be fixed or adjusted or whatever? And then we have a moment of gratitude and a goal or affirmation that we want to set for ourselves. So I will go ahead and get started into this vibe check. So the first thing we'll do, we are going to take a deep breath in and let it out. Another one in and back out. Last one in and back out again. I already feel better after that. I don't know about you guys. I always feel good after 3 deep breaths. It just really does it for me. So I'm going to ask these following questions, and you can either think in your head, journal it later, whatever feels good for you. So, how am I feeling today? Do I like this feeling? What could this feeling be trying to teach me? What could make today better, or is there a need to? What are 3 things I'm grateful for today? What could I affirm for myself today? Or a goal I can set for myself? Now I'll go ahead and share how I'm feeling, and you can ponder those questions throughout today. So today, like I said, I'm feeling a lot better. I don't know what it was with Monday. Maybe I was just like not ready for the week or whatever. I was feeling so good. The first couple days of 2021, I was like, yes, I got this. Like, got my goals in order, got my vision board in order, got everything in order. Like, I'm ready to go. Let's fucking do this. And then Monday came, and like, I was not excited for work. Like, I was telling Chase, I was like, I'm just not ready for this. Like, I was in such a bad mood, and he was in a bad mood, and we were like trying to get each other out of it. And then it was sometime after like lunchtime, I started feeling like weird. Like, I was getting sick. Like, the back of my head started feeling weird. I started getting a little achy, and I was like, what's going on? And I wasn't really congested, but like I had some like throat congestion going on. And so last week, Chase was a little sick. He got tonsillitis, we think. We don't really know. He tested negative for strep, mono, and tested negative for COVID. And so they thought maybe he was having tonsillitis, but that came back as not, like, he didn't have a bacterial infection. So we don't really know what was going on. So I've just been kind of like on edge. We've been careful, but like I've been kind of on edge to see if I was going to get sick. So I don't know if it's allergies or whatever, but I went to bed early last night and then woke up. I was still feeling a little groggy, I think. And then later on today, I don't know what it was, after lunch, I just like started feeling better and started feeling like myself again. So I was like, okay, this is weird. So that's why I was able to sit down and record this. But like I mentioned in the intro, had I just done this, you know, the intro, outro for this podcast earlier, we wouldn't have this problem. So thank you for bearing with me and being flexible with me this week, you guys, but I'm feeling a lot better. Hoping that I can continue and just get back to the gym, get back on my routines and everything like that, so we can just start the year on the right foot, you know what I mean? What could this feeling be trying to teach me? I just need to take care of myself and also not get down on myself for not getting ahead on things. We learn, we'll grow, we'll get to content creating and batching and everything like that to make things a little bit easier. So what can make today better? Is there a need to? It's the end of my day, so I'm ready for bed almost. I just want to crash and just relax. 3 things I'm grateful for today. My health, because my body was able to come back from whatever sickness that was about to happen, and I'm hoping it stays that way. So I'm expressing gratitude for my body and my health right now to affirm that I'm okay. And then number 2, I'm grateful for myself. I just felt really compelled to be grateful for myself. My mom on the phone today was like, I was feeling really down because I was like, I'm just not getting things done the way I want to be getting things done because I just don't feel good or like whatever. And she was like, Adriana, even if you're performing at like 20%, that's even great because I normally perform at like 200%. She's like, even if you're performing at half of that, like you're still doing a good job. You know what I mean? So I have to be grateful for myself that I can get the job done, I can get the work done, and sometimes I just need to give myself rest, and if my body was trying to tell me something, I needed to listen, you know what I mean? So definitely feeling good about listening to my intuition more, listening to myself more, and just trusting myself a lot more, so definitely I'm feeling grateful for that. Number 3, I didn't take time, I don't think, in the last Midi Vibes episode, but I am grateful for 2020. Man, what a heck of a year, but I did post a YouTube video to my channel. If you guys have not checked it out, it was kind of like my 2020 recap video. And it was really good to put together. It felt really good to put together. So I hope you guys like that video. But I am grateful for last year. I did find some silver linings. You know, I met Chase. I grew a lot personally that I don't think would have happened had 2020 not happened the way it did. And yeah, so I'm very grateful for last year, and I'm just going to take what I learned and just go for it this year. And then a goal or affirmation. I'm really just trying to get into the swing of this year. I have a lot I want to accomplish, a lot I want to do, so just trying to get focused and get grinding is basically what my goal is for right now. So that is it for this week's vibe check. I hope it was great for you to check in with yourself and also check in with me, see what's been going on in my life. It's always my favorite part of the podcast to just kind of share with you what you guys don't see on my Instagram, what you don't see on my other feeds of content and whatnot. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode. I am so excited to welcome Emma back to the podcast. She is, I think, my first repeat guest. Emma and I literally could talk forever. We've been friends since 2018, I want to say, when we first became acquainted with each other's content. And she's just really been an awesome role model and friend to work with. You guys, we've only met once. We've only been with each other in person once, and that was imagined. But like our connection is just so crazy. Between synchronicities with each other, things we have in common. Like, we are just on the same wavelength, and it's just absolutely so crazy. And so I really wanted to bring her on because she is having her first course come out, and I'll have her talk a little bit more about it, but it is all about content creating and influencing. And I am so proud of her and so excited for her. So I really wanted to have her on just so we could both share our knowledge and everything, kind of give you guys a little sneak peek as to what's to come for her in her course, because I just want to, support her. And if you are an inspiring content creator or influencer, this is definitely a great start to kind of dip your feet in. And if you really want to get serious, doing a course is always a great step to get serious about it. So that is what is going to be today's episode. You'll get to hear more about Emma, where you can find her, the course, and everything like that. So without further ado, let's welcome Emma Kapotes to the Let's Vibe podcast. Yay. Everyone, welcome back. Emma Kapotes to the Let's Vibe podcast. I think you're my first return guest. Yes. This is so exciting. I haven't had many guests, but it's like for every topic, I'm like, oh, I wish I could just bring Emma on.
You guys can't get rid of me. I'm back again.
But we're so happy to welcome Emma back to the podcast. Like I said, this episode is all about content creating and influencing. We took your guys' questions and we are going to answer them in honor of Miss Emma releasing her first course. And I'll let her give a little intro to herself if you guys aren't familiar with her, and talk a little bit about her course going on. So Emma, if you want to intro yourself.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me back. I have to add, we're both in new locations too, since the last time we recorded. Yep. So the glow up is real. Hi guys. My name's Emma. I'm 29. I'm from New Jersey. I am a digital content creator as like my side hustle. At my full-time job, I'm a digital designer in the festival space with Aid. And yeah, I started as a YouTuber and then gradually got more into social media posting. So now like Instagram's my big thing, TikTok. And then now I'm going to be launching my first online course. So I love working with other content creators, and I was getting a lot of the same questions about how to grow your channel or how to grow your following on Instagram. And one of my specialties is in engagement. I really love like connecting with people online, and I have a pretty high engagement rate. So I'm doing a course called How to Build a Highly Engaged Social Media Audience. And I'm going to be training people over a 3-week course. Like how to figure out who their audience is and what content they should be making for them, what types of posts they should be doing, how to come up with new ideas. Cause I know a lot of people are struggling right now, like with what the heck they should post. And then like how to analyze your analytics, how to engage with people online, like all sorts of things, but
all of it.
Yeah. And that's kicking off January 25th is when the course starts, but I'm opening it for enrollment on January 12th.
Alrighty. And that will be in a week from now, you guys. So this is kind of a little bit of a teaser, so you guys can hear from both Emma and I, our expertise and her expertise and everything like that, as we've been doing this for like 3-4 years now, at least, I want to say. So hopefully this will help some of you guys out there that are aspiring creators. And when Emma does open enrollment, she'll plug all her social channels so you guys can go check it out and sign up if you guys are interested. I believe you're also doing payment plans, right, Emma, or something?
Yeah, just message me if you want a payment plan.
Perfect. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first question we got, and thank you to everyone that submitted your questions. I know I posted like over the holidays, so I really do appreciate you guys submitting them. That submitted. And so the first question we got was, how difficult has it been being a festival content creator without raves and festivals happening?
It's a loaded question to start with.
One word, terrible.
I know, right? It's been rough. I don't know. Do you want to take this one first or?
Yeah, I'll take it first. Honestly, it's been pretty hard, but I feel like it's been interesting to kind of pivot and experiment with our content. I know both Emma and I, we've just tried different things with our content, just trying to figure out like what works and still kind of show up. I know one of the big things I always talk about is consistency, and I know Emma will talk about that too, is just staying consistent. So we just tried a bunch of different things and just created for fun. Honestly, like I threw Electric Forest in my own home because I was just like, what else is there to do, So it was really hard. I know some people, they just kind of like laid low and just did what they could with their posting, but we kind of just tried to stay consistent, show up for our audience, still provide value or entertainment in some sort of way. But it was a really challenging year, and I'm kind of glad we're on the other side of it, even though we'll still have a couple of months until probably real shows and festivals are back. But we're just kind of taking it day by day.
Yep. Ditto. I was going to say, like, I think you and I feel the same. Like, I think in the very beginning, it was like terrifying because we were like, wow, like we had content plans, we had festivals, we knew what we were filming. And then all of a sudden, like to have that taken away, it was like, okay, you can either just like let this defeat you and kind of like give up right now, or you can like have fun with it. And it forced us to get creative, which I loved your Electric Forest video. I was gonna say that was so good. And I'm sure this will like come up later, but it was kind of just like getting used to like, it's going to be a slow year. This isn't going to be a growth year. This is going to be like a maintain and like experiment year. And like, once you got over that, one thing I will say for like any creators listening, I've always felt this way. I know A does the same thing. Like, I think it is important, even though you might have like a niche like area that you focus on, to like show other areas of your life. So like Aid, you do personal development and you share like your health and fitness journey and shuffling, and like I do makeup on my channel, and now I'm doing social media tips. Like, I do think it's important to have a couple other topics that you share on your page as like a backup plan just in case, so that you have like other topic ideas to fall back on. So that was helpful this year.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like a lot of like my subscribers and followers, they loved all the real life stuff. Like even if it was just a vlog of like me hanging out at home or like doing stuff for my birthday, like everyone just loved the vlogs. Like out of all my videos, the vlogs performed the best this year. And I think it's because people were just like looking for like, I don't know, a break from their life or just seeing what I was up to and doing. So definitely recommend like having some type of other content mixed in can really be beneficial. And I think it both helped us to sharpen our skills too. Like I think Emma probably with the podcast and also with her videos was able to test out some different things. I was also able to do the same. I really wanted to get Final Cut, but I was like, I don't really want to pay for that just yet with no festivals going on. But I know some people took the time to just like utilize this time to learn how to do Premiere Pro or Final Cut and all that stuff. So we definitely just tried to be adaptable and make the most of it. But I can't wait for the festival vlogs to return personally.
Oh my God, I know.
Our first one's going to be so chaotic.
It's just like, well, actually one thing I wonder about too, because like we were also in this like go, like a lineup drops, make a video, blah, blah, blah. Like we were so fast and I felt like it was like hard to even keep up with that. So I'm wondering when they come back, if we'll go back to that or if we'll be like more selective about like what festivals we cover. I don't know. I have no answer to that. I'm just like curious about how we'll handle it when they all start dropping again.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be back on the go because I'll feel excited about it all.
Yep.
Next question. What was the biggest lesson for you in 2020 with your content?
Ooh, I wrote out an answer to this when I really thought about it.
You can go because I haven't thought about
it. The biggest lesson, and again, like it took me time, was like to stop worrying about the numbers and just like create things that feel right for me and my audience. Like I'm telling you, it was a drastic, not like plummet, but it was a drastic drop off. I was looking today from February to March to April. And like as a creator who's like used to seeing certain things, like everything across the board stopped performing well and people weren't looking for festival content. So like the biggest lesson overall was like getting over that. It took some time and then being like, okay, what new videos can I make? Like what feels good to me? What do people like trying new things, experimenting with different types of videos, doing the podcast. So yeah, biggest lesson was like not caring about like how things performed and just like making what I wanted to make.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that because like I've definitely seen like my numbers also fluctuate too, and like follower counts
Mm-hmm.
fluctuate. And then I was just like, you know what? If I like this piece of content, I like it's because I like it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I should just stick with that. And like I've always treated things as like an experiment, and I feel like I got kind of strayed from that
Mm-hmm.
and was caught up in the numbers as well. So I feel like doing that is really important. I feel like another lesson, like probably the biggest lesson I learned this year, and Emma can probably also agree with this, is how you value yourself and all of that. Because while we had some downtime, we did get pitched a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different collabs and everything like this. And so I think learning how to value yourself and saying no was another thing that I learned. And if something didn't feel right to me, saying no and just know that that's okay. And I don't have to give an answer for it or like a
Mm-hmm.
why. I always felt like I had to give an answer of like, no, I don't want to do this because I don't have time or something, but I can just give a flat out
Mm-hmm.
no. And
Yep.
so talked about this in the podcast, I think the lessons podcast of 2020, like learning how to say no was definitely a
Yep.
big lesson this year, just to like establish those boundaries as a creator and on a personal level too. But definitely as a
Right.
creator, if like they're not going to pay you when you should be compensated, or their timeline doesn't fit with you, you have the power to say no. Totally.
Yes, we love that for us, and we're carrying that into the next year.
100%. Tips on juggling a full-time job and starting a YouTube channel. This person works a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. job, and they work a lot in PR, and they want to start a channel,
Hmm.
but they feel like they don't have the time.
Jeez, that's a lot. That's a busy job. Yeah.
7 to 7, I could not imagine.
I'm like shaking my head because this is like the story of our lives. Like balancing this between doing our full-time jobs. It's like ridiculous. I mean, my gut reaction is like, what are you doing on the weekends? I'll say this, like, I think when you're first starting out, it's kind of like a hobby. And then obviously as it grows and like if you get more into it and you decide it's like the avenue you want to go down, I think you start to integrate it more into your life. So it's like the point we're at now where we're editing all the time and filming all the time, like we didn't start out that way. So I would just say like take advantage of your downtime. So if you do have free time on the weekend, like have a filming day or block out a couple hours to film and then use maybe Sunday to edit or edit during your weeknights. But maybe block your time out like that if the week is like too much for you. And then at the end of the day, I feel like if you really are committed to it and you really want to do it, you're going to find the time to do it no matter what, because no one else is going to do it for you. So if you want to find the time to do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That you really have to get good at time management and
Mhm.
prioritizing. So, um, I would look at my calendar and kind of time block off things during the week if I can, but otherwise, like look to the weekends as those time to create. One thing I really want to do in 2020 is like have most of my content filmed, ready to go at the start of the month. And then that way, all I have to do is just edit it. I know Emma's
Mhm.
really good at batch content creating. I'm trying to get a lot better at it because it does save so much time. Even if you take a whole weekend and edit everything too, and then you have it
Mhm.
all ready to go. A lot of the YouTube videos you can schedule and have those, so all they have to do is launch. And then on like, if you're promoting on Twitter, you can schedule tweets. If you're promoting on Instagram, I think you have to have a business account to schedule posts, but you can set aside time at your lunchtime to post to your stories to promote it. Or when you get home from work, post to your stories to advertise the video. But like Emma
Mhm.
said, if you really want to make it work, you'll find a way. It's all just about getting your priorities and time all in a line for that.
Yeah. And like you don't have to come out the gate with any pressure to like produce a certain amount too. Like I always forget, I should go look back. I think I was doing maybe like every other week in the beginning or maybe once a month. I forget, but you don't have to do like 3 videos a week. Like that's ridiculous. Like definitely start slow and then work your way up to it as well. And you're going to get better over time. So I would say like start by like filming in increments and then editing and like you can edit in iMovie. You don't have to do anything super fancy like right out of the gate too. Just like make it work with your schedule.
Yeah, I think I was doing one a week when I started, maybe, or one every
Hmm.
other week, I want to say. And
Yeah, that's
then
what I think I
like
did.
and then you ramp up to it. Once you get in the habit of it, like I can crank out a 10-minute movie or a 10-minute video on iMovie in like under an hour. So
Hmm.
like you kind of just work up to it and then you'll know like what kind of posting schedule you can do. Like we didn't come out of the gate posting as much as we do now.
Yeah, no.
Another balancing act. How do you juggle vlogging and having fun at music festivals?
Ooh. I always love this question.
Yeah, we get asked this one a lot.
Yeah.
But what you guys see in the vlogs is like little tiny bits and pieces, but I feel like we always do a really good job of like catching a moment or catching like the beginning of a set or an end of a set and then just like putting the camera away and that's really it.
Hmm.
I always kind of also plan to like day one do a lot of like showing the venue, showing like the art installations, lay of the land kind of stuff. And then the rest is like sets and stuff. So I try and get a lot of the content in the first day. That way I can have like a couple more lax days with day 2 and day 3 and stuff. So we kind
Hmm.
of plan it out that way too. Um, but we're not vlogging every moment. I would be really tired and my friends would be really annoyed of me if I was vlogging every
Yeah.
moment. So you just have to like pick and choose when you want to show what you want to showcase and when you want to showcase it. If it's a
Hmm.
multi-day festival, that's a lot easier to manage because you can pick when you want to showcase certain things.
Yep.
But that's typically kind of what comes to mind for that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, same thing. I think it really is. It depends. If you're filming like a daily vlog, say it's a 2 to 3 day festival and you're filming daily versus like you're going to do one for the whole weekend, like you're going to put out a 10 to 20 minute video and you're going to be there for like 21 hours plus. So you really are filming like such a small portion of it. But I know I have like some general vlogging tips too. Maybe we can cover that a little because we get asked a lot about
Oh
like how to do
yeah,
vlogs, but remind me about that.
I
I
will.
think go in with a plan too, because I think Ada and I are similar. Like we'll definitely film a lot more like during the day when we first get there, or we'll get our shots of meetups and like a lot more happens in the day. And then at night, like you want to go enjoy yourself and you'll just take a couple videos here and there. But a set is an hour. You might record for like 8 minutes of the whole set, like if that. So you really are enjoying yourself throughout the whole time anyway. And then, yeah, usually by Sunday is like the most lax, I feel like, across the board because we're tired in general. But um, I would say too, like, I've watched so many vlogs. Like, if I want to go to a festival, I will just go binge watch everybody's vlogs on YouTube. And I feel like um, some tips for that is just like get get clear shots. Like don't have like shaky footage of a set or like your friends all like super effed up. Like people are watching it because they want to get a feeling of the festival and like they want to see how much of a good time it is. So definitely try and tell like a story with your video and try and capture like different elements of the festival and like tell your story about yourself and your friends. But I would say like have clear, higher quality images. It can be shot on your phone. It doesn't matter. But if I, my least favorite vlogs are the ones I click on and it'll be like them arriving to the festival and then it'll cut and it'll be like nighttime main stage and then it'll be 10 minutes of like shaky footage at main stage. I'm like, this is not good. Sorry, I just went off on a tangent.
No, you're good. And especially like I want to know who the person is too. Like I get invested in
Mm-hmm.
like the friend group. Like this is how I fell in love with like Ashley Gauthier's vlogs because like
Yes.
she does such good vlogs of like her friend group and I'm like I want to be their friends.
Yep.
And it's because she does a really good job at like showcasing them and then like putting their names to faces and then also like showing bits and pieces of sets and stuff. So I definitely agree with that is get clear footage and like I vlog on my phone. Emma does too
Mm-hmm.
for some of these because we don't want to take our cameras in. Sometimes they don't allow the cameras in.
Yep.
It just depends. And so you can definitely get some clear footage on your phone. But even if you have to walk away from your friend group really quick and get a quick video and then go back, a lot of my friends understand what I'm trying to do. And so they understand sometimes I have to whip it out. I remember now we're getting into vlogging tips because I just thought of another
Sorry.
one. Um, Claudia Sulewski. She has like 1 million subscribers. She's dating Billie Eilish's brother.
Oh,
I
wow.
remember
Okay.
her talking about like a vlogging tip about how sometimes like she would rather be present for those moments that you would want to get on camera. So she tries not to ruin a moment by like whipping out her camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so like picking and choosing those moments can also be important because sometimes like those moments are just meant to be between you and your friends. So you also kind of have to be cognizant about that kind of stuff because sometimes maybe your friends don't want to be on camera or don't want that
Yeah.
stuff on that, and maybe that's just a moment for you guys to have. If you do get it on camera, great, and if they consent to that, great. But that's also another thing, just to kind of pick your moments. I know I've had some times where I'm like, oh, like that would have been so good for the vlog, and I'm like, oh well, like if I didn't have my camera out at that point, oh well, you know.
Yeah.
And that could make just for like a good story time another day.
Yeah. And I think we've done some good, like on the flip side, it could just be recording yourself, but I like started doing it towards the end of 2019, but I love getting reaction shots. So it's like, it's great to film the stage, but like eventually your footage is going to get copyrighted if you use too long of a song. So be careful with that. But I like recording myself reacting to a set. So and like me and Aid have the most amazing clip of us at Seven Lions. Some of those are just like seeing pure joy on someone's face or like seeing people reacting to the set on stage are like the best shots ever too. I love those.
Yeah, honestly. I love that clip so much.
It was pure joy in our
Pure
face
joy.
and
Pure
shock.
joy. I want to get back to that. We'll circle back to some more vlogging tips if we get to
Mhm.
it. Let's see. Next up is like when it comes to the actual content creating part. So, how do you not run out of ideas for content creation? So, this could go for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok,
Ooh,
any of that. Um, I'm trying to think.
yeah. I wrote down like, well, okay, so it depends, like obviously whatever niche you're in or whatever
Mm-hmm.
you're knowledgeable about. I said like for us, we're so heavily involved in this community. So, like, being fully immersed in what you're talking about is extremely important because then you know what's trending, you know what's timely, you know what people are talking about online. And that in itself just gives you ideas because you can answer people's questions or talk about something that's happening in the news. You are like fully immersed in it. So you'll just get ideas like from communicating with people online or like reading blog posts or reading Reddit, whatever it may be. And I same thing, like whether it's TikTok, YouTube, like staying on top of trends, like what is trending right now,
Mm-hmm.
what songs are being used, what dance moves, all that stuff. And then there are different like platforms. I'm going to talk about this in the course. It's like the first lesson is research. And I'm going to go over like tips on like how to do that. But there are like websites and platforms you can use to like search what people are like asking about in your specific niche. So it's a combo of like doing research and also just like being involved in the community.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I'd agree with that. And then I'd also say like other creators in the space, not necessarily like
Mm-hmm.
copying what they're doing, but also seeing like how they might do a spin on certain things. And then I always also look at other creators in different niches. So like whether it's
Mm-hmm.
fitness, lifestyle, Austin bloggers, whatever it may be, whatever topics that they're doing, seeing how I could do a spin on that for festivals. So like if they're
Mm-hmm.
showing like, what's a good idea? I'm trying to think. Like I've always seen like people do Austin guides for like different bars and restaurants and stuff. So I eventually, once they come back, want to do one for like venues, EDM venues in Austin and
Mm-hmm.
do stuff like that. So you can also look to other influencers and content creators in different niches and see how you can apply that. TikTok, I feel like is never ending. Like you can always
Yeah.
just be swiping through the For You page and use the favorites feature and favorite a sound, favorite a video. And then when you're creating, you'll have like a list of ideas ready to go. And you can do ones that people are doing in the EDM community or other niches are doing and change it to your niche.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's typically what I kind of run through. And then similar to what Emma's saying, what's going on with the time. Like for example, when we have festival season going on, we know typically to do a video about EDC around May,
Mm-hmm.
right before May time, when the lineup comes out, when ticket info comes out, like when Electric Forest info comes out in November, typically for the next year. Like I'm planning for
Mm-hmm.
that. And so with festivals, when they do come back, like we're never really short of topics. Even without them, we've been able to like figure it out
Yeah.
based on stuff going on. So it's kind of just making sure you're kind of keeping up with it. If you have a hard time keeping up with it, even just setting aside, say, 10 minutes out of your day just for pure like
Mm-hmm.
research and seeing what's trending, seeing what people are talking about can definitely go a long way and add up in the end. If you spend 10 minutes every day, you can accumulate a lot of different ideas and be
Mm-hmm.
able to figure out how you can execute them.
Yeah. And I would also say too, like it depends on like what analytics you're using, but I know for YouTube, to your point, like it is just being aware of like what's happening right now. Like my analytics showed me that more people were searching candy because everyone's at home. So people are making more candy and perlers. So they were looking up my videos on that. And like that in my head should trigger like, okay, you should probably put out more like how to make a perler videos or like how to organize your candy, which is coming at some point. So it's, yeah, like pay attention to like your analytics and pick up on what's actually, what would you search as a user, like somebody else who's similar to you that you're trying to attract to your page would be searching for it as well.
Yeah, and I think on TikTok they also recommend whatever TikTok that you had go like viral or perform really well, figure out how you can
Mm-hmm.
replicate that, whether you use the sound again or you're providing different value again. And
Mm-hmm.
also with your Instagram posts, you can see how those posts do in engagement and in likes. And so maybe trying to plan for similar posts like that too can also work
Mm-hmm.
really well.
This
This
is
is
good.
great.
Look at all the
I
value she's
know.
performing.
I know.
I'm getting
um,
cozy.
So another kind of content creating, when you're in the creation portion, how do you get out of your comfort zone? Also probably related to more like confidence too. Getting
Yes.
out of that comfort zone. I feel like I have gotten so much more comfortable in front of the camera over the past couple of years. Like I would
Mm-hmm.
consider myself like a more introvert with like more extroverted tendencies, which is hard to believe, but it's because I really like push myself.
Right.
But I also kind of forget that there's like people behind the camera, and I just kind of like treat it as if I was talking to like a friend or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it came to giving tips. Like I just treated it as if I was talking to a friend or talking to my mom about tips or whatever, because I felt super
Yep.
knowledgeable about those things. So that really helped. And I just really like pretended that there wasn't people behind there. But then as I started building a community, that kind of made it easier because then I can like play a lot more with like jokes and like have more fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that there's a supportive community behind it, or I know like Emma's watching, like I'll do like a funny thing with Emma or like, or also in terms of like doing different types of outfits and like Instagram posts and stuff like that. That's also been like a whole journey of itself of like getting more comfortable taking those kinds of photos and in those different types of outfits. And that's been a whole other journey. But I think just start with like baby steps of like, even if this video is going nowhere, just record yourself talking. Like
Mm-hmm.
do a vlog at home and just get used to talking in front of the camera and stuff like that. I even started talking on Instagram stories just to get comfortable with that.
Yep.
I don't even remember what my first talking video was on Instagram, but I can imagine it felt really weird. But now it's just like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
just talking to whoever, like it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely just like try and practice. And then once you get in the habit of it and you start posting and you start creating, like you'll just get more and more comfortable as you keep on doing it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love the idea. I think Instagram stories is a good place to like get your feet wet for sure because they're short and they disappear. But
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody says this, but it's so true. Like you just have to start creating. Like you really just
Mm-hmm.
do. Like if you go back and look at our videos, they're fucking so bad. Oh, sorry.
You
They're
can, it's
so
okay.
bad. And it's like it's okay. Like that you're gonna start somewhere. Like what I would say for both of us, like I am so timid. I like speak very slowly. I can tell like I'm analyzing every word I'm going to say. Like I had a carefully written out script for my videos and that is totally fine. And then you just evolve over time. Like it really just takes the like quantity at that point of like how much you're putting out and how often you're in front of camera. And then you edit yourself. So like you really are staring at yourself for a lot of the time, but it'll just make you better over time. And then now it's like we're so used to it. I don't care. You're more yourself over time. And I think another really important thing, and like I remember telling myself this early, but even more so now, because like the market just seems like so oversaturated with people. But you like literally have to put blinders on, and like so many people are concerned about like their family or their friends, and it's like if you are making a YouTube channel or whatever it is and you're talking about something you are passionate about or you're knowledgeable about, I think that will make you more comfortable in general because you're talking about something you know about, and it should just like be flowing out of you because you're really passionate and you're excited about making the video or making the content, and it's not for your friends or family, it's for the community you're trying to find and build online, and like they will come to you eventually, and then your friends and family won't think this is just a hobby for you anymore. They'll see like you growing your platform and stuff like that. And I think I feel bad for the people who want to do this, but get so caught up in what other people think because other creators are out there with blinders on doing their thing, just focused on what their next content is going to be. And they're getting ahead because they're not concerned about what other people are doing. So that was a tangent, but yeah, just do it. Start filming. It doesn't have to be good. Just get it out there and keep going.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, especially the blinders part. Like, I just moved to Austin and I was like, I'm out here alone. I have all the time in the world right now. So, like, let's just do it and see what
Mm-hmm.
happens. Luckily, I've had very supportive friends and family. And, like, I just told myself if anyone, especially on Instagram, when I converted that from a personal to this hobby that I was doing, like I just kind of went in with like if they unfollow me, they unfollow me. That just means that the content wasn't for them. They're not in my
Mm-hmm.
audience, and that's totally okay. I'd rather have them unfollow me than like leave weird comments or like messages or like spew hate or like, not that
Yep.
that would happen, but you never know. And so I think taking that first step is super important and it'll definitely help out. I remember someone tweeted at me, like, I want to start a YouTube channel, but like we're still in a pandemic, like it doesn't make sense. And I was like, honestly, this is probably the best time to start because no
100%.
one
Yeah.
will be watching your content, not like in a mean way, but not as many people will like have eyes on your content. So like you can just start getting in the habit of creating and get through these awkward first couple of videos, and then by the time festivals do come back, like you'll be ready to go and you'll feel like more confident and comfortable in front of the camera. You'll know how
Mm-hmm.
to edit and everything like that. And so I think this is still a really good time to start a YouTube channel, just to like get in the flow of it and get more comfortable in front of the camera and stuff.
Yeah. And you freaked me out too when you said in the beginning, like how long we've been doing this. Like it truly, it doesn't feel like that long. I think my first video was March 2017. So it'll be literally be like 4 years, but you just have to start now because those years do really fly by and you just get so much better over time. So like start now, don't wait for a year from now, like, cause you're going to waste a year of your time that you could have been getting better. So do it now, you guys.
Yeah, do it now. You can use your iPhone, you can use iMovie, you can find those resources and tools. Sorry, I think there's like an airplane. I don't know if you can hear that. I hope not. But yeah, time is now, everyone.
Hmm.
Let's see. How do you figure out what time and day to post?
Ooh, analytics, baby.
Yep.
Get used to reading those analytics. No, I don't know. I think it's like part of it is, well, it's experimenting, like, posting a few different times until you kind of feel like what works best for you, or you can like look at the numbers. And then, yeah, turning on your analytics on Instagram and like checking back on them on YouTube definitely helps. There's different like browser extensions if you really want to like pay for them or have different services that can tell you like specifically on YouTube, these are your best times of day to post. I had that turned on for a little while and then I discontinued the service. But on Instagram, I just knew it's also knowing your audience. Like I knew what my demographic was and where people are located. And it was primarily like New York and Las Vegas and LA. So I knew they'd all be 3 hours behind me. So my window is like 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. I typically post at, and that seems to be consistent. So you kind of just have to post a little bit, see what people are responding to the most, and then start tracking your analytics and really focus on posting in the time frame that the most people are online for you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've gone through so many different times.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I first started, I was doing around 5 p.m. and then there was a year where like posting in the morning time was going really well for me. It was really weird. I think
I
like
remember that.
2018, I was like posting in the morning, and then now I'm also doing it back in the evening time. But in your Instagram analytics, if you have a creator account or a business account, it will tell you how many people are on at certain points of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely really helpful. And you can also, if you're just getting used, like started with it, you can also do like a spreadsheet and be like, I posted at this time, this is how it performed. And so you can kind of see how it's trending week over week or something. And then TikTok, same thing. You can also look in your analytics. And then people have been using the live feature in TikTok because you can go swipe over and see how many of your followers are currently live or currently online right now. And so people are testing out, like just checking it at different times of the day to see when people are online. A lot of people also come out with like best times to post on TikTok, but it really just matters
Mm-hmm.
when your audience is online.
Yeah.
I've tried out some of those ones of like, these are the times to post, and like they kind of work, they kind of don't. So you just kind of have to figure out when your
Mm-hmm.
audience is online and kind of work backwards from there.
Yep.
But yeah, just experiment and keep track of it, and then hopefully that'll help with that. Anything else on that one? Oh, and day. If we
Yeah.
weren't posting daily, how often do you think you would be posting, Emma?
That's a good question. I think I was doing 3 times on YouTube. I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for a long time. I found that my weekend, I did Saturdays here and there, and I just felt like the Saturday posts never did as well for me, but that's not the case. Like, I have some beauty YouTubers I love that post every Sunday, and it's great because not as many people post on Sunday. So I always see their
Mm-hmm.
videos. Um, but it kind of, yeah, it depends. Sometimes Friday afternoon would not do as well as my Monday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon. And I don't know why. Maybe people are checked out, they're busier on Friday. I have no idea, but that's just a trend I've noticed as well. So weekdays on YouTube tend to perform better, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've also tested out, I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I was doing Tuesday, Thursday. Right now I'm doing Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, the podcast, Thursday, any regular
Video.
channel video. And
Mm-hmm.
then I've been testing out doing them again on Monday if I just have extra bonus content. Um, so yeah, you can also look in your YouTube analytics to see what time your viewers are most on, and that's really helpful. So they've the best practice, I guess, is what recommended is like to do it in 2 to 3 hours before peak time of people, and they have it like sorted out by colors. So you
Got
can
it.
also
Okay.
dig into that. And then for Instagram, I think when I first started, I was posting every maybe 2 to 3 days when I first started. And then, like, when I heard to post every day, I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. Like, how could I post
Yeah.
every day? Like, I can't even post twice a day and the post gets like marked. Like, why would I post every day? I was so against it. And then I was like, okay, like, let's just do an experiment. Let's just see how this goes. And so you can also do an experiment if you want. If you don't want to do daily posting, you can figure out what day is the best day to post, what time is best time to post if you want to like
Mm-hmm.
space out your posts. But we've just found out to get best engagement and just to kind of keep content flowing, posting every day just works for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been able to figure out how to batch that content so we're able to do that and be posting
Right.
almost twice a day. But again, something to work up
Yep.
to figure that out. But I did an experiment, I think in 2018. That was when I was like, okay, let's just try out daily posting. I'm just gonna try it. And it did really well because like it just keeps you top of mind and keeps your content kind of top of mind to people too.
Mm-hmm. God, you're so good. It is so good with her analytics. Like, she keeps track of like progress and stuff like that. Like, I have no fucking idea what I used to do. Like, I just remember I started the 3 times a week, I think in the beginning of 2019. And like, that was a lot. Now I've scaled back from it because it was too much. But I did like a giveaway, 25 days of giveaways for Christmas. And that was like retraining my audience a little bit because I decided to do the giveaway post at noon So you'll actually see my analytics change because I changed my 3 p.m. daily post I always do to noon. And so you started to see my traffic starting to spike now at noon every day. And now I'm having to train people to get back used to the 3 p.m. post. So it takes time. Like you definitely, people get in habit and you need to like be consistent with that.
Yeah, and I feel like you always need to like in a way not retrain but kind of reintroduce yourself every now and then as to like what
Mm-hmm.
kind of value you can provide to your audience and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have Excel spreadsheets with all my analytics. You should have seen like my Instagram analytics when I was like first like diving into Instagram. I had a whole spreadsheet and it was like, this is the type of post I'm doing. This is what time I posted. I could probably dig that up, but it was literally insane. Because I was so like, oh, why aren't my posts growing? Blah blah blah. Like what's going on? So I'm an
Mm-hmm.
analytical type person. So I was like, well, let's just start tracking it all. And
Yeah.
then that's something I will say is just track your analytics because all of the stuff that I've done with Vibe with Aid, I can put that on a resume. And so that was my thinking of like, I can use
Mm-hmm.
that to my advantage, put that on a resume. So that's just like a tip of doing a spreadsheet of like tracking like your followers over time, tracking your engagement over time. Because you can put
Yeah.
that on a resume and show that to someone. Like I've been able to do this with my YouTube channel, with my Instagram and stuff like that. So
Yeah. The
definitely can help in the
milestones
long
are
run.
good. Yeah. Those
Mm-hmm.
are good to keep track of.
Hashtag strategies. I know nothing, so I just don't use any on my content at the moment. I'm going to give this one to Emma because I have been against hashtags. I'm just now posting hashtags again. I've been at such a battle with this with
Yeah.
Instagram, but I've been doing hashtags again. I'm kind of blindly doing them
Mm-hmm.
again because I thought Instagram was shadow banning me, but my posts are still doing well. So I think maybe I just made that up in my head, but I don't know. I'll let Emma take it.
I mean, honestly, here's the thing, right? Like, it's Instagram is always changing, and like you could listen to a million different people online who are going to tell you so many different things. How I personally feel, and this works for me, I say use that shit to the fullest extent. For a while, like I had heard a couple people I've just through YouTube, like if there's a couple channels I watch that do social media tips where like 9 is a good number. And then I've watched some more recently that are like, you have 30 hashtags in each post, use every single one of them. So I've personally, I might not, I don't count out loud, but like I hashtag as much as possible on every single post. And I do a combination. So again, depending on your niche and things like that, and this just will take time to get used to it. I do like the big categories that might have like a lot of tags like hashtag EDM, EDM life, EDM family, EDM nation, whatever. And then if it's a rave fashion post, I'll start to get like more specific and tag like rave clothing, festival accessory. So I start big and then I like work my way into like more niche things because I feel like you'll actually break through the noise when it's like there's less. And when you do a hashtag, it tells you how many people have like tagged that. So start to get into like the ones that maybe only like tens of thousands of people have tagged versus 1.2 million people have tagged this. And then definitely do your research. Like the social media posts I've been doing are new to me. So I went on other people's pages who are social media marketers or coaches and screenshotted what hashtags they're using because I don't really know what the popular hashtags are. And now I just have those like favorited in my phone and I'll pull them up when I'm doing a social media post. And now I know like, okay, those are the niche hashtags I should be using for social media content. So yeah, do your research too and like look at what popular creators are hashtagging.
We love that. What happened with me, you guys, is like I think it was in 2018 or something. I just used too many hashtags or I was using the same ones over and over. So it like signaled to Instagram and like they were also kind of shadow banning certain hashtags for like
Mm-hmm.
explicit content. But now they're fine because I've been testing them out and like it seems
Okay.
fine. However, I still don't have the new Instagram story fonts. Still,
This makes no sense. I don't understand. Yeah.
I don't get it. So I still think I'm on Instagram shit list, but we're doing fine for right now. I just want the
Be
new
careful though. I will say, I'm
yeah.
sure I have no doubt in my mind, like they're tagging things, especially in like the rave community. Like if you're tagging rave booty or like anything explicit, like I don't know from experience, but I would just be careful with explicit hashtags for sure.
Yeah, I think I remember Relita Couture having like some issue with that. They were also like at some point, like if you hashtag Relita Couture, hashtag Brits Blossoms, hashtag Rave with Me Gente, like those ones were also getting like marked as like shadow bans
Interesting. That's
for those
crazy.
ones because like the girls were wearing like revealing clothing, even though it's not revealing like that
Mm-hmm.
revealing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram. But let's see what else do we have here. How do you know if you're getting paid daily or daily? How do you know if you're
Get
getting
paid.
paid the right amount for for sponsored content?
Great question. This is something Aid and I have
We're still
conversations with
working
about.
on.
Yeah. I mean, so okay, I wrote this down like practically Google it. TikTok. I wrote this girl's name down that Aid and I follow. Her name is at Small Business Advice. She's done some really cool. Actually, she's really good. She gives you tips on like how to talk to brands that are so helpful, and they're like really short form videos because they're on TikTok. So
Mhm.
at Small Business Advice, there's websites like Social Blue Book, which we use. It's paid now. It didn't used to be paid, which is annoying, but that's like exact. Like you can plug in your YouTube channel, plug in your Instagram, and it will show you like here based on how many likes you get, your engagement rate. Like this is literally a range of what you should be charging. And the YouTube one is awesome because it breaks it down into a fully dedicated sponsored video, a shout out, like a affiliate link, and tells you how much you should charge. So I'll probably like pay for it again, but right before I like ended my monthly subscription, I wrote down like my range that I was in. And now I know like as I grow, I can up it a little bit. And then Aid has been amazing because she works in marketing. Like, I talk to Aid a lot about this, but I would say like find a mentor if you really want to like hire a business coach or do a free discovery call with like a business coach or something like that. Ask around. We have such an amazing community of creators that we can like talk to, and we can all like, we're pretty open about it too and transparent. We'll like tell each other what somebody might have offered to us. So I feel like maybe it's just like our festival content creator community, but we're like not very competitive. We try to help each other out and are very transparent. So finding a community like that, there's really good Facebook groups that will be like very open about pricing and stuff. And then lastly, on this long tangent, I would say be flexible because a lot of the times when you're starting out, like people just want to do stuff in exchange for a post or in exchange for a product, and they budget doesn't even come up until you hit a certain threshold. So depending on the brand, if you get a good feeling about them, if you just want to work with them, I feel like you'll be flexible in what you'll accept in exchange for the content. So that kind of like comes with time, I think. But what do you think, Aid?
Yeah, I would agree with that. All the resources she mentioned definitely have helped. I've also talked to other Austin influencers that I've become close with and just have asked them like, hey, am I getting like shortchanged here? Like I asked someone about the Bud Light content and she told me I was definitely getting undercharged and I should charge more. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also talked to my boyfriend Chase because he's in sales, and I always think to myself like what, and this goes for like
Mm-hmm.
salary, like work, anything. I'm always thinking like what would a man ask for,
Yep.
and just like do that. And I try and channel my boyfriend's like energy and just like ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
And a tip I've also learned is that if they don't negotiate and they don't try and like talk you down, you could have asked for more.
Yeah.
So I have been raising the bar each time I get asked my rate. And
Mm-hmm.
until someone tells me no, that's like kind of where the baseline will be. Um, I did also try to negotiate like higher rates with Bud Light, but they had their budgets already set for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely something I could have asked for a lot more. So definitely trial and error. But I think last year was my first year getting paid for content, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, like I was just doing product for promo and then that kind of stuff. But I was getting approached by brands. I will say that if you are expecting a brand to send you something for free and you have a very small audience, to not
Mm-hmm.
do that.
Yeah.
To not expect that kind of stuff. I don't even expect that stuff at the
Yeah. No.
platform that I have. anytime that a brand sends me something for free, 9 times out of 10, I didn't even ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've just worked on those relationships. And at the start of Vibe with Aid, I was just buying the stuff myself, tagging them in it, and then tagging them a lot on like whatever. And if I did a piece of content featuring them, I would send it to them. And then that's kind of how you get your foot in the door to start building that relationship with them. But just to expect a kind of handout from especially small business owners is just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely try your best to just kind of navigate those relationships and get on their radar through your content rather than just like asking for a free handout, you know?
Yeah. And to your point about like the
Um,
small businesses, like we've talked about this so many times. It is tricky like in the festival and rave community, because a lot of them are very small brands. So their budget is not going to be the same as a alcoholic beverage company who literally has hundreds of millions of dollars. So it depends on like who approaches you, and who you're dealing with, like knowing the company. Like I would not expect to do a huge partnership with a festival brand right now because we don't have live events. So I know that they're like not their earnings are not the same as like a big brand who will have a structured program. And I would say too, like affiliate marketing is a really good way to get in the door versus like I would say, I mean, you're doing the Bud Light thing now, but I would say majority of the way I started making like a little bit of money was through affiliate marketing and being
yeah,
like an ambassador and using
I
a
would say that.
commission link or code versus like it's been very rare for me that I've been paid for like a one-off post. Like that might start to happen more now, but that's a really great way. And again, I would never go to a company and be like, send me something for free. I would buy an outfit from them, shoot some amazing content in there, and the outfit, tag them a bunch of times. And then if you show that you like really, really love a brand and want to work for them, and if they ever approach you, you can be like, do you have an ambassador program? I would love to represent your brand. What is your ambassador program like? And then maybe like get on board as like an affiliate or something like that. And then you can earn money if you make the company money. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good way to go about it too.
Yeah, I think if you want to ask something, if you want to ask a business for something for free, you better have a really good plan as to how you're going to show value for
Yeah.
them. So if it were me and I was reaching out to a brand and I like, let's just say, for example, like the shampoo and conditioner function of beauty. And I was like, I absolutely love your guys' product. I've been using it for a while. I'd love to share it with my audience. How can we work together or something like that? Or
Mm-hmm.
along those lines. If I never used the product, it would go the same way. Like, I think this would be really useful. And for my audience, I want to share it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any opportunities for sponsored content or ambassadors or anything like that? And kind of talk about it that way, as versus just being like, oh, want to collab and emojis
Not
and
providing value.
everything. Yeah, not
Yeah.
providing value. If you aren't able to draw that connection, why would that brand want to send you something if it's not going to be relevant and you just want free stuff? People can
Yep.
kind of smell that stuff from a mile away.
Yeah. 100%.
Also, your computer just turned on behind you, Emma. I'm
I
spooked.
know. No, don't be. If I have a notification, I was like,
Oh.
it's gonna turn on. So don't worry.
Let's see. We have two more left. Um, let's see. What else do you feel like you'd like to learn about in content creating? So this can kind of also go into like, what are you excited about for 2021 too? Do you feel like you could improve in some aspects? If so, what would those be?
Yeah, I love this question. I feel like I like am smiling now. I got like just so excited about it. Like so many things. There's so many things I want to like learn about content creating. And I think the biggest change for me, it was like, I think it was in like July or August. I don't even remember why. Maybe it's just like because of quarantine, there's like more time. But I started listening to a lot of podcasts on like female entrepreneurs and like money mindset and growing your business. And that just like sent me down like the rabbit hole of like consuming content. And I was like, you know what? I haven't done like a lot of education lately. Like, I think I need to step up and take some online courses or watch some videos on social media marketing. And then Aid and I both did a 7-day YouTube seminar with Sean Cannell, which was on Facebook. And that was like training us on YouTube in 2020. And like I learned some things in there that I didn't know before. So I don't know. I think you just like, once you start educating yourself more, it just like sends you down this rabbit hole. And I just started doing so many webinars and so many online courses. And that literally led me to where I am now. And I feel like in these last 6 months, I had more growth than I have in like the last year personally, I would say. So I just feel like there's so much, you invest in yourself so much when you start educating and like saving time for that, because there's the creating portion of it, but you need to still like know what's happening, know what changes there have been to algorithms. You need to like educate yourself on like everything because it changes so frequently. So, and I'm really big on like user behavior. That I have like a background in UX design, but I just think it's so interesting like why people like certain content or why they watch a video for so long. Like I think figuring that out and like user behavior is super, super interesting. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I had.
Yeah, I think for me, I talk about I want to get on Final Cut Pro or elevate the editing in some way. Once that seems like an option to go down, I'm definitely excited about that. But like Emma said, I work in marketing, so I'm around this all the time. And so there's
Mhm.
always something to learn. There's always something to kind of catch up on with trends and stuff. And so I can't think if there's anything I want to learn more about content creating in that aspect other than like elevating any tech stuff and like whether it's investing in a
Mm.
new microphone because I'm still using this little microphone which I
Mhm.
want to just use for like Zoom and guests, and I want to get like a nicer microphone that I can like adapt to this desk or like, add to this
Yeah.
desk or something, and then doing the editing and get that under control once I can invest in that. And so I think also definitely doing different types of content later on because there's always going to be different types of content to kind of come up. Like Emma's going with her course and learning all about like content creating for a course and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
so I'm also like if I want to teach DJing, like there could be content related
Mhm.
to that or like other stuff related to coaching and stuff like that. So I think, like Emma said, there's always things to learn and kind of elevate yourself on. Even if you get the basics down, there's always more to just kind of learn and stuff. So I think
Yeah.
it's been good for both of us because I feel like both of our platforms are at such like a good point that we were like, okay, we can like figure out what else we could be doing and kind of add on to that. And
Mhm.
it's not like our content is like automated enough to where like we aren't working on it. Like we're still very hands-on with our stuff, but
Yep.
it's definitely good to know that it's at a point where we can like start to invest more in ourselves and more into the platform and stuff that we're creating.
100%. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, the last one we had was Jess's question, the shadow banned content.
I had this one too. I don't know if we did this or if this was a part of that one, but do you feel like you can improve in some aspects?
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that
yeah.
question.
Do you feel like you can improve in some aspects? Always.
I get literally, yeah. I wrote down like, because I know we've talked about this with other creators. It's like cool because like some of our friends are like really tech heavy and like that's their specialty. And I wrote down like always, there's always ways to improve. Like I am not the best video editor in the world. Like started on iMovie and I'm proud enough that I'm in Adobe Premiere now, but like I do the most basic editing. I know my strengths and weaknesses. My strength is not in video editing or like equipment. Like I watch videos online just to know like what is worth an investment, but I use the same settings on my phone. They're automatic settings. I don't touch it ever. And I know that. And like, I wish I could be better, but I'm just not a camera nerd. I just don't know how that works. And it's not my specialty. But I feel like you can't let those things stop you from becoming a creator because you literally will never start if you say, like, I have no idea how to video edit it. Like, you will figure it out. iMovie is pretty easy to figure out. You watch a couple YouTube videos on it and can pick it up. And I remember when I started my channel, I looked at like some other major YouTubers who I know for a fact like edit in iMovie. Like I'm pretty sure Tana Mojo edits in iMovie and things like
I
that. And
think
like these
Tara
people have
does too.
millions. Yeah. And it's like, I remember specifically it was Cody Ko, who's still one of my favorite YouTubers. His editing is amazing now. But when he started on YouTube, he was just doing sit down commentary and like comedy. And I remember telling myself, like, if he can get to like millions of subscribers just by being himself and showcasing his personality, and he's really not doing that much as far as like background and editing, I was like, why the fuck can't I sit down and speak to camera if you have like a
Yeah.
story to tell? So don't let like any insecurities or like weaknesses you may have hold you back, because eventually people like Tana Mojo or whoever the fuck can earn enough that they can hire a video editor whose strength it is to do that. So it's like you will eventually get to that point, but just like keep educating yourself and like don't let that kind of stuff hold you back. You'll figure out a way to do it. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'm always the type, like, there's always more that I can improve on because I'm like a perfectionist. So I think, like, with every video, every post, like, there's always some learnings that you can take from that. And like, if something took you too much time, I'm always like, okay, well, how could I improve to have that take less time? Like, I remember there was a brand I did a couple TikToks for, and it took almost the whole day, and that shouldn't have taken the whole day. So I was like, okay, next time, if I'm not getting paid for these TikToks, I just need to do like the most simplest TikToks. You know what I mean? And same thing in just making TikToks in general, while doing like the transformation TikToks or like TikToks with multiple clips on it would look super dope. I just don't have time for that. So like I need to pick TikToks that are like really quick and easy to film. And I know Emma's probably also felt the same. So for me, I feel like what I can improve on always is about being more efficient and more effective with the time that I have and prioritizing. And so that's where like content batching comes in and time blocking and stuff like that. I feel like lately I've been a little bit like a chicken with my head cut off when it comes to that stuff. Like the podcast that came out today was recorded today and posted today, and I don't like doing same day all of that, recording and editing and all of that. And so I think for me, this next year is really just going to like make sure I have weekends to just like plan out all the content and get that going, and then have a weekend to film, have a weekend to edit, have those days have their days to do that. And that also means establishing like better boundaries with my friends or with my boyfriend, and just being like, I need a day to just work. Like I need this day to just like get it done. And then we'll hang out tonight or something like that. Cause sometimes I'm just like, oh, like, but I want to go hang out with them. But sometimes it's better about just like having those boundaries, but also having a balance of like normal life too.
Yeah.
Which if I had just a weekend at the start of the month just to knock things out, like that would set me up pretty great. So I think that's what I'm pretty much going to focus on, because that way, like Emma talked about, like we were in such a habit of like a lineup would come out, then we would get a video out. And so if I get in that habit, and that way when festivals do come back and we're having to put out a lot more content, I'll already have like my main stuff ready to go or on the back burner. So that way lineup drops, Electric Forest is happening, I can just keep that video in my back pocket. If something goes wrong, post it another day and then get that other content out. So hopefully that will have me be less worried and less stressed.
Yeah. This is so helpful. I just thought in my head, I feel like because there weren't as many festival content creators, obviously, like 2 years ago versus like how many there are going to be in 2021. But like our like festival lineup reviews are like going to be the equivalent of like a beauty YouTuber when there's like 1,000 of them reviewing the same BoxyCharm box every month. That's literally going to be like 20 of us reviewing the EDC Las Vegas lineup. And you know what? You're going to watch them all because you love us all differently.
Exactly. And we all have our different music tastes too.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking about too. I was like, because with festival content creators, like people still are like, people vlog festivals, like it's still just like a weird kind of thing that people don't realize. So it's been kind of cool to be a part of the first group and kind of see more people catch on and have our little community and stuff. But I agree. Definitely, like when festivals come back, it's just there's going to be so many vlogs, so many lineup reviews, so many tips and stuff, and it's going to be great.
I know, I can't wait.
Okay. Did we want to get to the shadow ban content?
We could touch on it quickly.
Okay,
just to wrap up.
Yeah, just to wrap up shadow ban content. her question was what you do with a post. Do you delete it or take it down or just leave it as is? I think was the question.
I think it depends on the platform because I mean, I don't think really YouTube, it's not shadow banned, it's copyrighted. But like I know on TikTok, you'll know immediately. I think I sent you an example once. It was weird. This hadn't happened to me, but I posted something and then usually within the first 5 to 10 minutes, you might have like 4 views or 5 views. Like it will be a number, but this one was sitting at 0. So I knew something was wrong. Like it did not send it. Nobody saw. And I was like, Aid, can you let me know if this video posted? And she was like, no, I don't see it. So that's when I knew for whatever reason, TikTok was like, we're shadow banning that. And then for some weird reason, 20 minutes later, it started getting views. And I think it's because the audio I used in it was like a little explicit. So they might have flagged it on the back end as like, this is inappropriate content. And then after it like filtered through their system, they let it go. But if it's shadow banned, whether TikTok is weird about how much skin you show, what language you're using, like whatever, if you can refilm it and it didn't take that long and you can like reassess your situation and it's a great idea, then do it again. I've seen so many TikTokers be like, this was taken down, I'm doing this again. On Instagram, same thing. I know their like rules are a little bit tricky with like females in particular on like what you can and can't post on there, but yeah, I would say if you have like backup content and it's like really important to you, then try and post it again unless you feel like you're jeopardizing the quality of the content or something and it just won't be the same as like the original format, then maybe move on to another idea. But I haven't had too much experience with stuff being shadow banned.
Yeah, I think for me, I always kind of kept a post up, even if I thought it got shadow banned, just because I just don't really know if that's the reason why.
Right.
It's really hard to know if that's the reason why, unless you use like a hashtag that they deem is like shadow banned, but that's really hard. You'd have to use like hashtag, I think love is like one of those ones, hashtag love or like hashtag, like some of the bigger ones are shadow banned. But I typically keep the post up if I thought it got shadow banned, or the engagement's just a lot lower or something on it. I think it might hurt to keep it up, but it also might hurt to take it down. So it's kind of just like up to your preference, but just kind of take it as a learning. And if you think it got shadow banned, kind of figure out why that might have been, and then just figure out how to avoid it the next time. If you're consistently seeing that your posts are getting shadow banned, like you think that you have like a mark on your account or something like that, take a couple days off. Just don't post. Just take a step back away from it and realize it's just a social media app. That's kind of what I've done. If I feel like it's getting too much for me, I'll take a break and just be like, all right, I'm taking a step back. If that doesn't seem manageable, like maybe you have a business that you have to upkeep and stuff, then maybe just limit how much you're posting or just stick to stories for a little bit, just to see if it kind of works itself out. That's typically what I've heard from people that think that they've gotten shadow banned, is that they've taken like a break over the weekend or something, just to see if that would help. But I know like I've had some people that are business owners, like Relate Couture, talk to me about it, and she's like, I really feel like I can't take a break because, you know, it's her whole business, you know? And so I think what she did is that she took a break over like a weekend because it's a weekend. People aren't as active. So I think she took a break over a weekend. I don't really know what came of that. If she found that really helped, but that's typically what I see is people are like, I'm just going to take a break and come back to it.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense.
Yep. Well, that is all we had. What a great episode. We got so much in there.
I know. I was gonna say, we covered a lot. Hopefully this is helpful to people starting their year out.
Yeah, of course. And if you guys have any more questions, you can always reach out to us. But also, Emma's course is right around the corner. It drops in a week. So be sure to check that out. And give her some support, especially if you are an aspiring content creator or influencer. Definitely will be helpful in terms of getting an audience together, posting schedule, everything that we kind of covered today. We kind of gave you a little bit of taste of everything that she'll cover in those 3 weeks. So I'm so excited for her and so proud of you, Emma. I can't wait to see how it all turns out and hear about it all.
Oh my God. Thank you. It's a lot of work, but yeah, it's like, this is like so fun. I feel like this hour like flew by because we just love talking about this stuff. And I feel like you just have to help each other out. I don't know. That's just how I feel like. I feel like if we share these things and we're really transparent about them, like there's plenty of room at the table for everybody to succeed. So I think it's really important just to talk to other people and like ask questions and figure this stuff out together. Thanks for having me. This was so fun.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for joining. And also, Emma, just tag where people can find you at too.
Oh, yes. I'm on the spot now. At Emma Kapotes on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And then pretty much everything is Emma Kapotes. And then my podcast, Rave Culture Cast, comes out every Wednesday, and it's at Rave Culture Cast. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And then is your website, emmakapotes.com, like accessible too?
Thank you for that. emmakapotes.com if you guys want info on the course and you guys want to enroll in that. And then also feel free to DM me if you have like literally any questions or you want to learn more about the payment plan as well.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much, Emma, for vibing with us today. And we'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much to Emma for joining me and vibing with me today. I hope you guys loved today's episode. If you did, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, post a story to your Instagram of you listening to the podcast if you did enjoy it. And if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to Emma or myself. Like I said, her course is opening next week, so be sure to check out her socials and everything like that so you guys do not miss out. It is definitely going to be a great step in your content creating journey for you to take that on if you are so interested. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for vibing with me, and I will see you in the next one. Stay vibey, Vibe Tribe. Bye.